I'm a huge fan of the Marvel Universe, especially the MCU. I enjoy everything from scenes like... to scenes like...
Did you make a penis?
But right now, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite scenes from Doctor Strange, and you'd be wrong if you guessed it was...
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
No, believe it or not, I think this is one of the most underrated scenes in the whole movie.
The language of the mystic arts is as old as civilization. The sorcerers of antiquity called the use of this language spells. But if that word offends your modern sensibilities, you can call it a program.
It reminds me of the Beetle in a box thought experiment.
Previously on X-Men.
Imagine that you have a box.
Are you Tony's stank?
And also imagine that I have one too. You open up your box and say, hey, there's a beetle inside my box. Then you ask me, what's inside your box? I look inside my box and I answer, I got a beetle too. Based on your experience and my answer, you might logically conclude that we have the same thing in our boxes. But really, there's no way of knowing for sure unless you took a look inside my box. The problem is called the private language argument. Maybe I'm really bad at biology, and what I call a beetle is actually an aphid, or cicada, or maybe even a common house ant.
Wait!
Or maybe when you said beetle, you literally meant a living bug. But when I said beetle, I meant a plastic toy beetle.
Web-spinning Spider-Man.
Or who knows, maybe I got a Volkswagen Beetle, or Paul McCartney. The Beetle in a Box thought experiment was created by philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein as part of his investigation on pains. Let's ask time-traveling philosopher Nathan Summers what he has to say on the subject of pain.
People think they understand pain. They have no concept of it beyond their own worst experience. 5 years old, that's what? A bee sting.
Oh, yeah.
20 years old, shrapnel. 40 years old, disease. Maybe the kind that leaves you more machine than man.
Jesus Christ. So what am I really saying? Am I saying that no one will ever understand you? Am I saying that you are incapable of ever understanding anyone? Am I saying that we live and die alone, locked in the consciousness of our mind, our only means of communication with the outside world being a flawed tool which is so subjective that life is like trying to watch a foreign film with the subtitles turned off?
What? Okay, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, kinda. That's kinda what I'm saying, yeah.
I'm not taking it.
On a related note, is a hot dog a type of sandwich? Perhaps that's a topic for another video. But getting back to my original point, Doctor Strange, the Ancient One, and spells, this scene hints at the subjectivity of language, the beetle in the box. It also makes me wonder about the willingness of contemporary movie audiences to suspend their disbelief. I think perhaps moviegoers these days are more willing to embrace a plot that involves a convoluted, overcomplicated, and sometimes poorly explained fictional technology than a plot that involves something that is unexplainable or requires the audience to accept something at face value, like mysticism or magic.
I just wanted to show you how silly his story was.
But you're the one who's always pushing me to chase down every possibility, every alternative.
I'm talking about science, not magic.
Well, magic's just science that we don't understand yet.
It's a trick.
No, it's much more than that.
Whosoever be he worthy shall have the power.
Whatever, man, it's a trick.
I'm gonna have to agree with Hawkeye on this one. Come to think of it, maybe that's why we never got to see the old school version of the Mandarin.
You will learn to respect the demands of the Mandarin's new world, or you won't live to enjoy its glorious darkness.
And instead, we got this reimagined biotech guy.
Crazy stupid fine.
Or maybe it had something to do with marketing the movie to an international market. But that's also a topic for another video.
I am the Mandarin! Mantis, look out!
Ironically, when the Ancient One compares spells to the what was it again?
The source code that shapes reality.
Right. Ironically, by comparing spells to programs in the source code of reality, she adds elements of a convoluted, overcomplicated, and poorly explained fictional technology to the magic of Doctor Strange. And I actually think that's a good thing. Oddly, it actually helps me suspend my disbelief. And it reminds me of the subjective nature of language. And in that moment, I think of all the Beatles in all the boxes. It's one of my favorite scenes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an often overlooked and unappreciated scene. And that's the reason why, when I first saw this scene, I was all like...
Avengers assemble! Leave it to me!
The Beetle in a Box thought experiment was created by philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. The Beetle in a Box thought experiment was created by Ludwig Wittgenstein. Ludwig Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein.